some reason I can't pull my whole chat up. All right, there it is. Brown Hornet 1975. Salute, bro. Salute. Appreciate the dime. Hornet in the building too as well, man. Let's get ready to do this, man. So here's what we're gonna talk about, man. We're gonna talk about this Monica and C Murda thing. Here's the thing about it. When it comes to a situation like this, you got to keep in mind that whatever a woman's preference is, that's her preference. And any man who's not her preference is going to have to pay her to stay. So you look at all these guys she's married, these guys had to pay her to stay. You know, these guys they had to come in, man, and be the absolute breadwinner. Now, you juxtapose that against the man she truly loves and she truly wants and she truly desires to be with. That man is locked up in prison. He can't do nothing for her, but she doing everything for him. And that's what you got to understand. And you got to think about this. I want you to think about it from this perspective. You got men out here who are taking care of women and putting them in a position of feminine power in their lives, the wife position, and they can't even get this type of support from their wife, man. They taking care of every day. Here's a man's been locked up for years, and this woman is, bending over backwards, man, to show her loyalty, to show her love to him, to let him know that if he ain't got nobody else, he got her. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't knock her for that, because you can't choose, man, who you get caught up with. And she just been caught up with this guy, for a long time. Now, when you're young, people influence you to you got to stay away from that type of energy. You got to do this. But she tried it. She tried to be with all these other guys, but a woman is always gonna flock back to who she wants to be with. I'll give you some examples. You got to think about it. Every woman has a type, and any man other than that type will have to pay her to stay. He will have to pay to play. He will have to prove himself worthy of her presence because he's not the man she wants. And a lot of men don't understand that. Now, you look at 3 examples. Let's say Steve Harvey. Margie's history. Margie was with D-Boys. She was with hustlers. She was with street guys. You're going to see a theme here. She's with street guys. And she ended up with Steve, but guess what? She told Steve, you ain't got no money, you got to go. Steve had to go get his money right. He admits this. He had to go get his money right. Then he came back. And guess what? He had his money right. He had his money right to do what? Pay her to stay. She didn't want to be with Steve. She wanted another type of guy that Steve is not. A comedian is a long way from being a street dude. So you just got to keep in mind that you look at Will. Jada wanted Pac. You understand? She wanted Pac. Will admit it. He was no Pac. I wasn't Pac. I saw Pac. I saw how she felt about Pac. I wanted her to feel that way about me. And I always just thought, that's Pac and I'm just Will Smith. Jada wanted Pac. You look at Sierra. Look at Sierra's history. There are no Russell Wilsons in her history. We could talk about money, but 50 money was a little bit longer, as long. It ain't about the money. It's about what a woman prefers. You got to understand, if you're not a woman's preference, then she's just passing time with you. She's spending time with you because she doesn't have anything better to do. The man she wants is not around. And let's not forget, Monica was with Rocco first. Rocco was a street dude. So at no point should Shannon Brown have ever believed that he was the type of guy that Monica wanted to be with. But here's the thing. Every woman gets to that age where if there's a suitable man around who wants to marry her, she'll marry him whether she loves him or not, whether she wants to be with him or not. And that's what happened. There's an age where a woman hits, and it's normally between 28 and 35, where she hits that age and she just feels like, okay, it's time for me to slow down. I'm running out of time. I think I need to be a wife right now. But the majority of them don't really want to be a wife. They just don't want to be in a situation where they don't have a husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, a husband is kind of like that thing that helps you navigate life. A life partner. That's where the whole life partner concept comes from. The life partner concept comes from, okay, I'm living this life. I can manage it, but it's tough. I need a partner to help me live this life. I need a partner to help me take care of these children that aren't his. I need a partner to help come and dig me out of this debt. I need a partner to come help and do all of these things. And many women fall into a situation with a man that they don't want to be with. But here's the thing. That man that she's tied to originally is always going to be there. Man, let me tell y'all something. There's about 10 women from my past. And this may not be a big deal to y'all, but I want you to think about what this means about always being on a woman's mind. There's about 10 women from my past. No matter what happens, whenever my birthday comes around, they always remember to acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? Man, these women are married, have been married for the second time, but there has never been a year that passed where where I don't get an email or I don't get, because they can't contact me via phone. But not many. There are no women from my past who contact me via phone, to be honest with you. So when you think about it, man, you have to keep in mind that that's a recognition that a woman goes out of her way to make sure she lets you know that you're special enough to her that she will not let that day pass without reminding you that she'll always remember it. Without reminding you that the time she had with you was so memorable that she wants to remember. She wants you to remember that she remembers you and that time. And many men are so I look at the guys who are married to those women. I'm like, bro, if I was that type of dude, I could hit your chick up, man, and fall through, man, and knock stuffing out the Egg McMuffin. I could, but I'm not that type of man. I don't do that. I get offended if a married dude think, man, I want his wife, man, I get offended. I be like, bro, that's your wife. What kind of dude you think I am? What kind of man you think I am, man? I'm finna be with your wife. Now, there was a time. I ain't gonna sit here and try to act like there wasn't a time. There was a time, brothers. But at this point in life, man, I mean, and I've been this way for a long time, man, I'm offended by that. But just to know that it's there, it's kind of like this. When she was married to Shannon Brown, if C Murda has suddenly gotten free and been proven innocent, man, she would have dropped that dude like a bad habit. And this is the problem. It's not the woman's fault. It's the man's fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. Because what you got to understand is a woman's first love never lets go of her spirit. There's a spirit connection. We talk about the spirit connection all the time. And guys be talking about, well, you can rewrite the imprint. What type of beta male simp man Johnny want to rewrite the imprint? What type of beta male simp man Johnny want to take it upon himself to try to compete with the spirit of a man that's imprinted on a woman? What do you gain by that? All these women out here that haven't been imprinted yet, what do you gain by that? Nothing. But the simpitis in you is so deep that you need to prove to yourself that you can do the impossible. Well, guess what? You can't do the impossible. And the very moment you try, you're going to realize that that's a thing that you shouldn't even be wasting your time on. And many men just don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Couple super chats over here, man. P. Wayne, what up, man? Appreciate the 5 bone. Ricky Well, appreciate the 5 bone. You're spot on, BOA. The brim of bed. Crop is still spawning too, man. That's why I've been out of pocket. I've been going fishing every day. I'm out of pocket, man. All right, Ray Charles Smith, appreciate the 5 bones. Successful intellectual hood dude imprint cannot overcome unless you play the Steve Harvey role. Will finding out the hard way, BOA. F simple. Yeah, man. That's what it is, man. He's finding out the hard way because, and the thing is, man, he's not even finding out the hard way. He already knew it. These guys already know this. These guys know this. These guys know this. You don't think part of the reason, man, why Sierra don't go around Future, man, to exchange to pick up the kid or exchange the kid, man? You don't think it's part of? You don't think Russell got anything to do with that? You got to understand, man, when you're in a situation where you're not a woman's type, you have to deal with that every day. When you find yourself at a party with some guys, because tell me the one reason that she would want to be there besides Future being there. What other reason? Russell Wilson been cuffing her so hard that she ain't even been able to get a glimpse of Future. He ain't really been putting much music out. She ain't been able to get a glimpse of him. So she said, we're going to go to this party over here. I at least need to see him. If I can't talk to him, then I can walk by him. And that sounds far-fetched, man, but I'm telling you, man, I've been in a situation like this for a long time. Man, listen, I've been in at least 5 situations where I'm not dealing with a woman anymore, and she moves on to the next guy. And you know how dudes are. Dudes want to ask one woman questions about her past. You want to know her whole story. Well, what happened with you and that dude? Well, how come you ain't with that dude anymore? He seems like a nice guy. He seems like a very successful guy. Look at that car he drives. Look at that. He's always available to do. Now, look at that guy. I've heard of that guy. What? They always want to know about it, and then they set themselves up, man, for these guilty feelings. And so it's always a thing where, you know, let's say you and a woman do some business together, because you know all my relationships start business first. So let's say you and a woman try to do some business. You hit the woman up. Maybe she's an accountant. Maybe she's, you know, she's whatever. Maybe she writes grants. You know, maybe she writes grants, and you know, for nonprofits. Maybe she writes all those things, man. And you're trying to link up with her, man. And dude is like, no. What's going on? Y'all must be messing around still. You still must be messing with that dude. There ain't no other reason. Well, how come y'all finna do is meet for business? Why you gotta dress up? Why can't you just wear your clothes that you wear around the house? Help me understand that. Help me understand why you can't just wear your clothes that you wear around the house. I would think that would be the thing to do. Why ain't you wearing your clothes that you wear around the house? Help me understand it. I want to know why you don't. Wait a minute. Hold up.
I want to know why you don't change your clothes. Why you gotta change your clothes to go around that dude? Who that dude is? That dude ain't nobody. He ain't nobody. I'm your man. You supposed to dress up for me. You supposed to wear the work clothes. You gotta go around that dude. That dude just trying to get something. He ain't trying to do no business. He ain't got no business. He ain't got no money. He ain't got no time. He ain't got nothing on his mind but getting a piece of that behind.
That's what those dudes like to say, man. And when you put yourself in a position where you're with a woman where you know you're not her type, man, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna give y'all some examples. If I meet a woman and all she's ever dated is non-black men, I'm not finna do that with that woman. Me and that woman ain't got nothing going on. We don't have no time. We don't have no effort. We don't have no energy to do nothing. Me and her ain't got nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got a thing going on. I can't do nothing with her. I'm not finna go around her. She not finna come around me. I'm not finna touch her. I'm not finna cut her. I'm not finna do none of that. You know what I'm saying? If I meet a woman, all she been with broke dudes. I'm not finna deal with no woman ain't been with them but broke dudes. She gonna have her hand out. She come around me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't rich, but I'm okay. But she gonna have her hand out. She come around me. I ain't finna deal with that. You understand? I ain't finna deal with no woman that man ain't deal with them D-boys. You know, I ain't finna do that. I ain't finna do that because she got a certain thing on her mind. So when you think about it, I ain't finna deal with a woman who ain't deal with them. If every man or woman ever been with, man, is over 6'8", man, I ain't over 6'8". I'm not finna deal with her. I'm not finna deal with her. Like, I'm finna skip every time I'm not her preference. I'm gonna skip that. That's why I don't see how guys be having 100 women. How you got 100 women? 98 of those women, you're not even their preference. Cold approaching women, you're not even their preference. You understand what I'm saying? Man, I'm top notch. I'm me. I'm not finna cross no line, man, to be the second. If you're not her choice, you're not her preference, you're automatically the second choice. We live in a society where men just embrace being the second choice. They love being the second choice. Oh, I'm the second choice. Leonardo DiCaprio, I feel bad for a chick that doesn't marry first love. I ain't gonna say I feel bad for her, man, because she made that's the decision. You know, unless it end up like a situation like C Murda. If it end up a situation like this, that's something different. Let me see. Rational Logic 101. Appreciate the 5 bones. Beta Mel Silman Johnny Imprint Eraser. You got me dying, man. That's what I'm telling you, man. That's these guys believe, man. You can just go out there and you can force a woman to be something that she's not, man. That don't make sense. Charismatic. Let me see. Ray Shaw Smith. Appreciate the dime. Charismatic hood brothers are dangerous. They have access to all the old bra, regardless of marital status. I've seen this and found out the hard way. If she love the Dunn Diva brothers, stay away. Yeah, man. That's real. If she caught up on the dude, man, you got to move on. And a lot of time, man, guys don't really understand that when you put yourself in a position to win in a situation like that, you're really putting yourself in a position to lose because you can't win in a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? When you take a scenario, when you think about it, when you got to pay to play, the guy who has to pay to play is always the nice guy. You know what I'm saying? The imprint never has to pay to play. That's why we get out, man. Women prefer thugs. No, women don't prefer street dude. They don't prefer us. They don't prefer it. They just get caught up with it. You know why? Because there's a certain energy. There's a certain energy of you serve me-ness. You know what I'm saying? You got these other guys, they go into I serve you-ness. There's two different types of men. There's a man who believes that it's his job to serve a woman, and there's a man who believes that it's a woman's job to serve him. There are no other type of men. There are no men in the middle. Either you one or the other. No matter how you try to play it, you're gonna be one or the other. And you can, if you got to pick a side, if we got to push you to a side, there's gonna be a side that you're more like than the other side. And that's just the reality of it. So if you got to pay her to stay, then why pay a woman to stay when you can pay your own self to not have her? It doesn't make sense. But when you put yourself in a situation where you are not a woman's preference, man, I'm telling you, you can never win a woman over when another man has already won her. You can't win her. If a woman already won her heart and all her body parts, man, you can't winner. It's over. Stop doing it. Stop trying it. Don't y'all see the Will Smith example, man? He been doing this for years, decades. Will Smith been trying to win this woman over for decades. She's still online crying every year on Pac's birthday. What more do we have to see? After all these years, all these men Monica's been married to, man, now she hanging out at the prison, man, on holidays with C Murda, man. She going all the way down to Louisiana, man, and hanging out with this man, at prison, in prison. And for the world to see. Why? Because she's tired of being miserable, being with guys who don't measure up to her preference. That word is a big word. Preference is a big word, man. It's a word that we must keep in mind. Preference is the word that we must keep in mind. It's the word that matters the most. What man does she prefer? It's the same thing as you being a man. A woman is with a man. You come along. You want to marry her. The woman dipping back and forth, cheating on you with the man for the longest time. You marry her anyway. Guess what's going to happen? She's going to keep dealing with that man. Probably going to end up getting pregnant by that man. And you're going to have a baby you taking care of that don't look like your other babies and don't look like you. And you know what? The woman's going to be okay with that because you play a position. You are the safe zone. Never provide a woman a safe zone. It's kind of like meeting a woman who ain't got nowhere to stay, man. You know how crazy you got to be to meet a woman who ain't got nowhere to stay, man, and put her up in your crib? You know how crazy you got to be. And I know some of y'all did it when y'all were younger, man, but you know how crazy you got to be? You got to be nuts. You got to be nuts. That's why you can't allow yourself to get caught up in, okay, you meet a woman, you like her so much, she just start hanging out at your crib all the time. Man, you don't know, man, she might be hanging at your crib all the time, man, because she ain't got nowhere to go. Or her home life may be so miserable that she would rather just be there with you. Before you know it, you let a woman move in with you who don't even like you. Let me tell y'all something. If a woman has a situation at home that's bad, she'll rather be anywhere than there. So yes, she'll come to your crib, man, and act like it's the most amazing place in the world. She'll act like it's paradise to her. You know what? It will be paradise to her compared to where she has to be most of the time, but not compared to where she would want to be. You can only have a woman around you, man, if she wants to be there with you. I'm talking about wants to be there with you because you're there. Even if there was another place to go, she only wants to be there with you because you're there. She puts aside everything at the end of her week to come spend time with you. It don't matter what nobody else say. She gonna come spend time with you because she wants to be around you. And if that ain't what you got, man, then you're dealing with a woman whose preference you are not. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're not a woman's preference, man, you're wasting your time in life. You're cheating yourself. Don't cheat yourself, man. Treat yourself. Treat yourself to a life of freedom. You understand? Treat yourself to a life where you are the one that the woman around you wants to be around. You understand what I'm saying? Man, let me tell you something. You see me out with a woman, man, yeah, she ain't gonna keep her hands off me. I could just be walking, man. She gonna want to hold my hand. She gonna want to grab my arm. She gonna want to lean her head on me, man. Can't do nothing, man. Can't go to a restaurant without her trying to sit on the same side I sit on, man. In the car, man. She want to hold my hand in the car. That's why I can't have no woman around me every day. I can't have a woman around me every day. I can only deal with that for 2-3 day spells at a time. Come around me for 2-3 days. Okay, you can do all that lovey-dovey this man. About that fourth day, I'm like, look here, Shouted. Look at here, Shouted. I know that what's really going on in your life. I understand it. I understand it completely. Believe me, I know. I ain't lying to you. I know that when you're around me, your heart skip a beat. I know it does. But mine doesn't. So while your heart skipping beats, I'm like looking at the clock. Like, when is this going to be over? Let's set an end time for this engagement right here. So if that's not what you got going on, man, the woman don't really want to be around you, man. I don't even understand how guys be dealing with, man. How you gonna deal with one man where you believe it's your job to please her? I've never had that I don't even know what that feels like. I don't know what it feels like, man, to be concerned about whether I'm pleasing woman. Let me tell you something, and this is real talk. And I tell y'all like this, man, I'm gonna bring enough wood and I'm gonna last enough time for her to get hers and for me to get mine. I say again, I'm gonna bring enough wood and I'm gonna last enough time for her to get hers and for me to get mine. All the other stuff, I'm good. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not even finna go that route. Everything else, the object of giving pleasure, the object of that's her job. Man, let me tell y'all something. How you gonna be the man? We'll talk about that tomorrow, man, on DJ Envy Show. We'll take a dive on DJ Envy Show tomorrow, man. So y'all be looking for that, man. The DJ Envy Show tomorrow is gonna be phenomenal. Don't miss that, man. Tell everybody you know to make for sure that they in the pocket, man, because it's gonna be on point. It's gonna be on point. We're gonna take a deep dive on that one. All right, man. Who we got in here? All right, we got Deshaun Gemini, man. Appreciate the 5 bones. Got Ash Rogers in the building. Monica and Rihanna both are lost. I think I may agree with you on that, Ash. I think I agree with you on that. Rashad Smith, appreciate the 5 bone. It was a dude who got himself killed by Big Meech in the 2000 because his old broad showed Meech, and Meech beat the case that happened in ATL. Man, that's one of those things that happens all the time, man. It happens all the time. Afi, what's good, bro? It happens all the time, man. I see many guys, man, put themselves on the line, man. And because here's the thing you got to understand. When you marry this type of woman or put her in the position of marriage or wifey, it will never end well. It will never end well. It just never ends well. That's why I say, man, all the time, don't worry about no woman, man, until you put yourself in a position of power in life where you have so much going on in your life that a woman never has enough value for you to miss her if she's gone, for you to sacrifice other things to keep her. You know what I'm saying? Build a life that's so valuable, build a life that's so rich, build a life that's so fulfilling that her leaving is the least of your concerns. Every day you wondering if you ought to send her away anyway. Build that type of life. That's our job as men, to build a type of life that makes us feel like, man, you know, nothing is better than this. There is nothing that a woman can add. Like right now, man, there's nothing that a woman can add to my life that's going to make her invaluable. You understand what I'm saying? Now, she can add value, but not the type of value that's going to make me sacrifice anything else to keep her in it. That just ain't going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? If you have to give too much of yourself, then it's going to be a bad situation for you. It's going to be a bad situation for you. If you have to give too much of yourself, it's going to be a bad situation for you. And that just, it doesn't make sense to do that. See what we got here, man. Let me see what we got here, man. I mean, it really just doesn't make sense to do that, man. You're going to put yourself in a bad situation, man. And I just say as men, why would we put ourselves in those situations? Like, why would we put ourselves in those situations? It doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense to put ourselves in those situations. It's irrelevant. It doesn't benefit our life to do that, man. I'm trying to find something right here, man. Give me a minute. I might just hold off short on tomorrow's show, man. Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll hold off short on tomorrow's show. Yeah, I'll show it on tomorrow's show. So, you know, the reality of the scenario, man, is everything that we believe about our interaction with women is true, but we let our emotions get us caught up in it. And so we end up foregoing what we believe and just disregarding what we believe and trying to, you know, incorporate some other new belief system that just doesn't work. It just, you know, the problem with nice guys can't bring themselves to use the savage pack. They only aim to please and make love to a woman, man. Man, that's all they're just only aiming to please, man. Let me tell you something. If that's what a woman wants, then there are guys out there who can do that. Me, I just savage pack, man. That's all I do. You know what I'm saying? For all the particular nuances of dealing with a woman, man, her saying crazy things and saying things that don't make sense and just, you know, just getting on my nerves with her illogical outlooks and all of these things, man. And then just having to have her around me, just having to have that feminine energy around me, man. Man, every time I touch, man, it's going to be savage pack. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through the wreck shop, period. There's other men who could do that other stuff, all that lovey-doveyness. If she want that lovey-doveyness, man, she is very well free to go get that lovey-doveyness from somebody else, man. She can get it. I don't care. She can get it. From me, all I got is the savage pack. I ain't got nothing else. I don't want nothing else. I don't want to develop nothing else. All I got is the Savage Pack. You understand what I'm saying? That's all I got, man. And the reality of the scenario is that's just the way it's gonna be with me forever. It's gonna always be that way. I'm never gonna get too old where I can't bring the Savage Pack. I'm just gonna do it every time. That's my thing, man. But here's the thing. That ain't even something a woman can handle on a regular basis. So a woman is less likely to even want to try to cohabitate with me because she know every time I touch it's gonna be Savage Pack. She's like, oh no, I ain't gonna do that now. That fella right there, man, that fella raw right there, man, he ain't quite right, man. I ain't finna mess with that. I can't do it. Every time I turn around, man, he be trying to beat the brakes off my pussy. And I be like, nah, I ain't gonna let him do that. And I get it, man. Because what you have to understand, man, is the only difference between man A and man B is the interaction with the woman. Man A looks at the woman as his inferior. You understand? Man A takes on and says, okay, if I got to provide for you and protect you, that means you're weaker than me. That means you're inferior to me because you can't provide for me and protect me. Provision and protection are strong things. Those are things that it takes strength to do. You can't just be a provider and protector if you're weak. You understand what I'm saying? Because your provision can always be finagled from you, and your protection will fold under the pressure of a serious onslaught. And so those things put you in a position of power. But there's two kinds of men. There's the man who understands that power and exerts that power. And there's a man who says, well, this is just part of who my job is. I'm just going to do this. And, well, baby, you can still do what you want to do. I don't care what you do. Just go ahead and do what you want to do. Whatever decision I'm in, you can do whatever you want to do. I don't care. You're the boss of me, baby. You're the boss of me. I just shut up and do what I'm told. In my Denzel Washington voice. And that's the only kind of men they are. And women are drawn, attracted to, and imprinted by those men who understand the position of power. Women can say what they want to say. They're never going to admit this, especially if you got a woman and you're not in a position of power, your woman will never admit this. Because you know what that's going to do? It's going to drive you crazy. You're going to be sitting around here wondering, well, who's the man in a position of power for her? I know it's not me. Where is she? What is she doing? Man, don't a woman want you sweating her like that, homie? She don't want you sweating her like that. You see what I'm saying? And here's what y'all got to understand. Some women prefer killers and drug dealers. I say again, some women prefer killers and drug dealers because that's what they grew up around. Or they might have had, even if they didn't grow up around that, they might have had some family members. And so in the summertime, they went and spent the summer with those family members and just realized how wild they were. But you know what it is? That life seems wild and free. It seems free because if you're not in that life, you don't understand the consequences and repercussions. But if you're a woman from the streets, if your woman grew up in the streets, man, she grew up in the hood, then you are not her type. You're not her type. It's kind of like there are guys, man, who only date non-black women. But it's not because they have an issue with black women. It's just because they grew up in an area, in an environment where there were just non-black women around. You know what I'm saying? If you went to a predominantly white school in elementary school, junior high, high school, man, then you have a preference. That's your preference. Why is that your preference? Because that's your experience. And it's the same thing if a woman's from the hood or if you're from the hood. Man, if you're a dude from the hood, man, let me tell you something. The cats from the hood, man, love hood. I ain't gonna lie, man. I still got offended for. I don't like no hood rat, man, but I like my chick to have a little hood in her. Enough hood, man, where I can throw on some Slim Thug, man, and she don't get offended. You know what I'm saying? I want her to surprise me sometime with some of the songs she may know or some of the things she's seen, some of the movies she's seen. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now I meet women all the time, man, who got just a little bit of hood in them. They ain't never seen Minister Society or Juice or any of those, man. But yeah, they have enough hood in them, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, they done been around some hood chicks, some hood cousins or something like that, man. But for me, just the overall energy of there's an energy that a hood chick has until she becomes a hood rat. When she crosses over into that, I'm just like a dude mindset. Hey, I'll get you. I'll do whatever. But there's a little bit of edge that a woman. I won't even say hood edge, but there's a little bit of edge that a woman needs to have for me. But a woman who is strictly from the hood, wants a hood dude. She wants a D boy. She wants a hood dude, either a killer or a dealer. A dude who is from the hood wants a hood rat. That is why these rappers end up having children with strippers. Why? Because that is what they want. That is what they're used to. That is what they see in their hood. Think about it. You in the hood. I don't know how. I know some of y'all are from the hood, or at least have lived in the hood for a period of time. You know what it is. Certain song come on, the twerking starts. You know what I'm saying? Certain song come on, the twerking start. Don't matter where it's at. Summertime come around, boy. Let me tell you something. Summertime come around. I want every man on here, find the hood nearest you. Don't go in there at a time at night if you're scared. Now, if they don't know you, you ain't even got to be scared. If they don't know you, don't go in there at night. But what I want you to do, I want you to ride through there. Summertime, ride through there. Just ride through there and see how the women dress in the summertime. See what they wear. See how intriguing it is. See how enticing it is. And then go back to your area and see that women don't dress like that. You know why? Because there's two different environments. And so if your woman is from that environment, she likes those dudes who are riding around with those big wheels on their cars. Those dudes who have tattoos all over them. The dudes who might have slugs in their mouth still. The dudes who, they who knows, they may have caught a case or two. That's just what it is. You cannot be a dude from a different environment. You can't be a suburban dude and believe that a woman from the hood is truly into you. And you got to think about, man, most athletes are not from the hood. They lived in a hood area, but they're not from the streets. They were too busy playing ball. You understand what I'm saying? They were too busy playing ball. LeBron ain't rich. I mean, he didn't grow up rich, but he was too busy playing ball. You understand? Once coaches take a true interest in you, you're shielded from a lot of things. And then there's a certain popularity that comes with, being the hometown kid, or the students at your school, man, they love you. You're a superstar, man. You got the whole school. They all on ESPN. But when it boils down to it, there's a certain energy of a man from that environment. And the energy between Monica and C Murda proves that. It don't matter what other man she was ever going to be with, she will always drift back to C Murda. Always. As you can see, she did. It's been always. Man, it's been years. It's been years. Think about how long ago it was, man, when C Murda was out. Think about how long ago it was when he was out and No Limit was popping. Man, that's been years. That's been decades. And here she is still there. So I'm telling you, man, if you meet a woman and she is caught up on another man to the point where, like Will said, I saw the energy between them and I was jealous. If the energy between her and another man is so strong that you get jealous, man, you ain't jealous. That's your instinct trying to tell you flee the scene. That's your instinct trying to tell you, man, you'll never have this woman. That's your instinct trying to tell you, man, this woman ain't for you, dog. Go ahead and leave this woman. She ain't the one for you. That's your instinct. That's your gut, man. That's your logic. That's your alpha energy trying to protect you, fool. How you gonna disregard what your alpha energy trying to tell you, man? Listen to your alpha energy. Let the alpha energy lead you, man. Stop being a fool. I ain't never seen nothing like this, man. All right, man. Got a couple more super chats up in here, man. Let me go ahead and get to them. Mike Cabassin, man. Appreciate the $20, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being in the joint. We got here Wavy One. Salute. Appreciate the 2 bones, Wavy. Wavy One again. Appreciate the dime for the algorithm. Salute. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate you being in the joint. Malcolm X Moody Jr. Salute. Appreciate 2 bone. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I got sons, man. I got sons. You got to understand, man. I'm the last of my dad's bloodline. If I die without sons, man, my dad's bloodline dies. It's gone. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm like a lion out here for real, man. Like, I have to continue my bloodline, man. You know what I'm saying? If I don't, man, my entire history wipes out after me. It's done. So I ain't have a choice. All this talk about, I don't want no sons. I don't want no children at all. I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it. So, yeah. And I ain't done yet either. I ain't done yet. I want 10. You know what I'm saying? I want 10 soldiers. I'm top George Foreman. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else has to do that. That's just me. Who is this man? Malcolm X Moody Jr. I asked because I don't have none, but it seems like I should never have none. I mean, every man has to do what he wants to do in that scenario, man. I just think the way it's set up in this society where we're being told that, okay, if this is a situation, then, don't have any kids, don't do this, blah, blah, blah. And I just say, man, if you go back and search historically, I'm talking about before our time in America, which everybody seems to want to cap our history as here. Man, you go back and you realize, man, that the structure of the household was different. You understand? The man and woman didn't go out to work and then come home together every day. There were times where the man was gone for weeks or months. You understand? The men of a city would go and try to conquer some. They go and try to build some. They go and try to find some. They go and try to retrieve some. They go and try to learn something. So it wasn't this thing where every morning we get up and we come back home and have dinner together at the same time. Man, that's not even natural. None of us really want to do that. When you really think about it, man, you don't want to live that life. You don't want to get up every day, man, and leave, then go to work, and then come home, man, every day, man, and then you got to do the same routine. Come home, have dinner with your family, man, go to bed, wake up and do it again. No, that's not natural. You know what I'm saying? It's what's currently going on, but it's just not natural. Now, at the same time, there were the village, the city itself would govern the activity of everyone. So the elders would be left behind and the elders would govern the activity. So it wasn't like when you were gone, Jody would be at your crib. You know what I'm saying? Because there was still penalties for committing adultery. There was still for the man and woman, there was still penalties. So that's not even natural, man. So I say, man, if you feel like you want to continue your bloodline, man, continue your bloodline. Because here's the thing. Even if you marry a woman, there's a chance, man, that y'all going to end up being divorced. So why risk that? You know what I'm saying? If you just want a kid, why risk that? Ash Rogers, appreciate the dime, man. Why would a chick from a middle-class neighborhood date a thug from the hood? Dating, man, is one thing. Sometimes it's just curiosity. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. If you want to date a chick like Monica, man, curiosity is something different. You want to date a hood chick, man? Cool. Man, let me tell you something, man. I dated some hood chicks, man. Had some amazing times with them, man. Some phenomenal times with them. You dig? Had some phenomenal time with them, man. You know what I'm saying? And it can't go any further than that, because you have to keep in mind the differences in outlooks, the difference in values, the difference in just desires for the future. You have to remember that, man. So, it's a fun thing. You can date one, but I mean, when it comes to anything more serious than that, and then, I mean, who can say why women do things, man? Women do some of the most illogical things in the world, man. They just do that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You can tell a boy, don't put your hand on the stove. He might not put it on there. You tell a girl not put her hand on the stove. She can see her brother, Jay, get burnt, man. Or somebody else, Jay, get burnt. She'll put her hand right on there. So when it boils down to it, man, I mean, who knows? Who knows? That might be a question, man, to ask a woman. You know what I'm saying? They just do things. But now let's remember this, man, at the same time. You can never, here's the problem that men don't understand. In this situation, a woman idolizes another man. So when you think about it, Monica idolizes C Murda. She idolizes him. Just proven by her recent actions, man, she idolizes this guy. You know what I'm saying? Don't really know if the guy gonna ever get out. You know what I'm saying? If he's innocent, man, I hope he gets out. I hope every innocent man gets out. But she idolizes this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is all out on Front Street. You know what I'm saying? And when a woman idolizes a man, you got to keep in mind that you can never have that woman. You're never going to get a return on investment. It's hard enough to get a return on investment with a woman who ain't caught up on another man. But how you going to get a return on investment with a woman that's caught up on another man? You can't pay her enough money. You can't spend enough time. You can't please her enough. You can't cater to her enough. You can't pedestalize her enough. You can't prioritize her enough. You can't sacrifice enough of yourself for that woman to ever be yours, because she already belongs to another man. And if you could, it's going to take so much of yourself, so much of what you have, so much of what you represent, so much of what you stand for, so much of what you've built. Why would you want to do that? Then you lose everything just to gain the woman. What good does it do a man to gain the soul of a woman and lose his own? It does a man no good. What good does it do a man to compete for the love and affection of a woman who doesn't even own her own love and affection anymore because another man has it in tow? In the Will Smith case, has it in the grave. It doesn't make sense for a man to do these things. See, the imprint cannot be rewritten, but a woman will certainly enjoy the ride as you try to do this impossible thing. She will certainly enjoy the ride. The whole concept of rewriting an imprint is so beta, man. It is so weak. Like, I don't even understand who came up with that concept, man. Man, it's got to be, man, listen, whoever came up with that concept has to be the biggest beta male simp mangina in the history of the world. As strong as the imprint is, we're going to talk about rewriting it? Like, what value does the woman have when you want to rewrite the imprint? It's kind of like the same token as you being with a woman and you can't leave your ex alone. You keep going back to your ex, going back to your ex, going back to your ex. Then when a woman finally leave you alone, you trying to beg her to come back. I ain't gonna mess with her no more. You done already went back to your ex 8 times. Now the 9th time she's supposed to believe number 9 is the charm. Number 9 is the charm. That's what she's supposed to believe. But that's how we live in the world. People will continue to go through things that they shouldn't go through because they just don't want to accept the truth of the situation. See, it's harder to leave a situation that you've invested 20 years in than it is to leave a situation that you've invested 2 years in. But here's the thing. You knew in year 2 that the situation was going to be the way it is. By year 20, you just stayed, hoping, wishing, praying that things got better. Let me tell y'all something. Things don't generally tend to get better when they start off terribly. You got to compromise and sacrifice a bunch of things for things to pick up and come back to a normal state, even a normal state of existence when they start off terribly. I be hearing about people talking about they met, man, they couldn't even get along. Man, well, how in the hell y'all end up together? Y'all couldn't get along. How did y'all end up together and y'all couldn't even get along in the first place? Help me understand this. We couldn't get along, but we ended up together. Oh, I love her so much. How you love her and you ain't even like her at first? What kind of sacrifices did y'all both make to what y'all truly desire in order to be in a situation where y'all sit around here telling the world that we hated each other at first, but we love each other now? I do love you. I love you. I love you. That's what y'all talking about. My baby, I love you so, oh, and I don't want you to go. No, no. That's what y'all saying. Who does that? It don't make no sense, man. But that's the world we living in. All of these guys who've been with Monica, man, all of these guys who married her. Shannon Brown married her. I think she was with, what's the other guy she was with? Man, I can't remember his name. But these guys, well, Shannon Brown didn't marry. I think they called that one off. I think they called the marriage off. And you know what? They called the marriage off. She called the marriage off because she realized she could not marry that guy. She could not marry that guy because she accepted that she belongs to C Murda. She belongs to C Murda. What more can be said? And these other guys running talking about, you got me going in circles. Oh, round and round I go. You got these boys going in circles over the woman. You know why you're going in circles? Because the woman leading you on a wild goose chase, boy. You're on a wild goose chase. You can't never get the woman because the woman don't want to be got. The woman can't be got. While you sitting there chasing the woman needs somebody to be with her because the man she want is locked up. The woman needs somebody to be with her because the man she want is going out to the military. The woman needs somebody to be with her because the man she want done moved out of town. The woman needs somebody to be with her because the man she want told her, wait on me. I'll be back. I want y'all to think about that, man. All this sound like fun and game, man. Sound like I'm making fun, man, but I'm serious as a heart attack. I'm super serious. Unless you're a thug yourself, it's common sense to not desire a woman who prefers that type. As I stated before, whatever a woman's type is, if you're not that, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? The only man who can get the best out of a woman It's the man that woman truly desires. A woman would never give her best to a man she doesn't truly desire. She can't. She doesn't have the power or control over her best self to be able to give her best self to a man she doesn't desire. It just can't happen. I'm telling you, man, it can't happen. Y'all keep trying if you want to, man. I'm just trying to tell y'all what's real. Because she will always revert back to her preference. Always. Always. Always, man. I'm telling you what I know from experience, man. She will always revert back to her preference, man. So you got to understand this. Women that I met, man, would have loved to marry me, man. They would have loved to be my wife. But I wasn't with it. So eventually they end up marrying somebody else. But guess what? That ain't the man that they wanted. And on several occasions, you know, I've had those women figure out a way to contact me, man. It was all about one thing. The Savage Pack. It was all about the Savage Pack. You know why? Because by the time you marry a woman, you don't give her the Savage Pack. Why? Because you're too concerned with figuring out exactly what makes her feel good. You know what makes her feel good? The Savage Pack. The Savage Pack. The Savage Pack. I'm telling you, man. So when you think about these things, man, these guys put themselves in situations, man. And some of you guys will put yourself in that situation, man. And man, you know you regret it. You know you regret that situation, man. You know it. It puts you in a space, man, where you ain't even proud of yourself, man. You don't even love yourself, man. You don't even like yourself. You don't even do none of that, man. You know that. So why put yourself in that situation, man, when you know good and damn well, man, that you ain't satisfied with it? And now I'm going to tell you something. Now, all those guys that she dated before, Shannon Brown and those other guys, that's the only one I can remember. And now they looking and saying, oh, that's why she couldn't give me all of her. Because C Murda still had her. That's why she couldn't dedicate herself to me, because she's dedicated to C Murda. Here's the thing. What this shows is that once a woman gives herself to a man, she only gets herself back if that man gives her back. A woman can't give herself to a man and take herself back. She can't. She's always going to be caught up on that man. Man, you know the craziest thing you could do, man, is be with a woman that says, I'll always love that man. I don't care if it's her ex-husband. I don't care if it's her baby daddy. I don't care if it's her first love. I don't care who it is. If a woman tell you, I'll always love that man, you got to be a fool to marry that woman, man. You crazy. What man want a woman that telling you, man, she'll always love that man? You ain't no better than Will Smith. Will Smith know Jada was in love with Pop. He know that. And he still married her anyway, man. Come on, let's be realistic. All she had to do was lie and tell him that we're just friends. Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you. That's all she had to tell him. All she had to tell him was, we just friends. Don't worry about it. Me and Pac grew up together. We just friends. That's all. Dang, you ain't got to worry about nothing, Willie. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to worry about nothing. I ain't worrying 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 about nothing. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Just be you. Just be you. Just be the Fresh Prince. I don't like thugs for real. But that's what a woman's supposed to tell you. She's supposed to try to ease your fears. She's supposed to try to ease your concerns because she wants the situation she has with you to be smooth. You're willing to give her everything. I'll give you the sun, the rain, the moon, the stars, and the mountains. I'll give you the world. You're willing to give her everything. Why? Because you believe that she is your everything. But she knows that she's not. She knows that all she has to give you is what she has left from the man that she dedicated herself to. And it's never gonna be much. It's always gonna be physical. If a woman is dedicated to another man, she has no emotionality to give you, brothers. I am telling you. She has no emotionality to give you. You're wasting your time if you believe that that woman has some emotionality to give you. Wavy one, appreciate the dime. You ain't never lied. So many truths. Still learning on my grind. Salute, King. Salute to you, man. Stay on the grind, man. Keep grinding and growing. Joe Black, appreciate the 5 bones. Appreciate the game, OG. Salute to you, Joe. Salute, man. Appreciate you. Ryan, appreciate the dub, man. I'm behind. But that mic fire. Salute, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Derek Reed. Salute, D. Reed. Appreciate the dub, man. Appreciate it. Jarvis Austin, appreciate the 5 bones, man. Monica and Rocco. Yep. Started out with Monica and Rocco, man. And so anybody else should have known that if you're not that tight, man, what you doing? Charles Lee, appreciate the 5 bones. How to know a woman tight without knowing her history. So you just straight up ask. No, man, she'll tell her. You just gotta know how to engage in the conversation with a woman and let her talk. I've never had to ask a woman about her past. She just always, volunteer. Ask her about her you want to know her relationship history from a psychological perspective. You don't want to know how many men she been with and what she did that. You want to know if she's ever been heartbroken. You want to know if she's ever been in love, because you need to know if she has these psychological wounds that are still open, or you need to know if she's got them healed and they're scars now. So you want to know her relationship history as far as how it affected her psychologically and emotionally, but a rundown on how many dudes she been with and what they did and how many times she did this or how many times she did that, man, you don't care about none of that. Now, if she want to volunteer that information, fine. Let her volunteer. Wavy one again. Appreciate the 2 bones, man. So much truth, so much truth. Salute, man. Salute. Let me see. Robert Davis. Salute, Rob. Appreciate the dime. Keith Williams. Welcome to the Alpha family, man. Welcome to the Green Label Gang. All right. So another thing is this, man. You got to remember these things. I'm gonna tell y'all some ways, man, to avoid these situations. Some things that y'all got to remember, man. Give me a minute. I'm gonna tell y'all some things that you got to remember, man. Some things that you got to keep in mind, because the bottom line is, as men, we tend to allow ourselves to be put in a headspace that just doesn't benefit us, man. And I think for the most part, we just got to stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop putting ourselves in those situations. We got to stop putting ourselves in those situations. Number 9, appreciate 2 bones. Now, here's what we got to do. You got to understand that the things you believe a woman should value are exactly the things that she should value. But you got to keep in mind that there's a certain man she values those things from. You see what I'm saying? Here's the deal. There's a woman somewhere with 2 children by 2 men. One of those men don't have to do nothing for his kid. He can show up when he want to show up. He can call on the phone and just talk to her about the kid, flirt with her a little bit. She cool with that. She don't worry about nothing. There's another man, she trying to get him to pay child support for both of the children. Why? Because she values that motherhood thing, and she values having a father for her child, but she values it from the first man. And it don't matter how that man does it. What a woman values, she values. She values. A woman may want a ring, but she values it from that man. You can give it to her. It's something, but she doesn't value it. You got to remember that just because a woman values something doesn't mean she values it from you. You have to be the one that she wants that thing from. You have to be it. I'm telling you, man, you have to be it. So it's kind of like when you meet a woman, man, and she says, well, I've never done this. I've never done this to nobody. Hey, man, you can't just say, well, she lying. You can't say that. Because I ain't going to say that. I'm a special kind of dude, man. Let me tell you something. I'm a special kind of brother, man. So a woman meeting me, being in my presence, man, getting soaked up in this alpha energy, man, getting overwhelmed by this alpha energy, man, it's probably going to make her do something that she ain't never want to do with nobody else, because it's an energy thing. So I can't say that. Because I wouldn't ask. Hey, you ever did this before? Well, how many times have you done this? Well, have you ever done that before? Let me ask you something. How many times you done that thing right there, girl? I ain't going to run down a list of things. I got a list of things right here. Put a 1 if you've done it. Put a 2 if you haven't. No, I just do that in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hit me. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to remember that. Another thing, you got to remember that if you don't possess the energy that a woman wants to engage in that thing, you're giving her something she doesn't deserve. You're giving her something she doesn't deserve. Shannon Brown, gives her a ring, proposes to her. She don't want the ring from him. She want the ring from C Murda. She don't want to be married to Shannon Brown. She want to be married to C Murda. Come on, man. Another thing, you got to remember this. Women are born with an innate capacity and ability and even desire to serve and seek approval from a powerful man. But what is that power? A chick from the hood has a different outlook on power. A chick from the burbs has a different outlook on power. A woman who grew up with her single mom has a different outlook on power. A woman who grew up with a strong father in the home has a different outlook on power. So you have to understand there is no just one definition of power. Your upbringing and environment, and also your influences, your parental influences, are going to determine what you view as power, what you view as rich, what you view as broke, what you view. For me, living check to check is broke. For somebody who ain't got nothing, who living in poverty, living check to check is a come up for them. They'd rather live check to check and have all their bills paid than to pay all their bills, not have no money, and still have people calling them to pay other bills. You see what I'm saying? So it's just really about what the choice is. So that's why you got to take your time, man, and learn what a woman's intent is. You can't be rushing into these situations with women, man. Take your time. Stop acting like, man, you can't think with your brain and you always got to think with your wood, because your wood is always up to no good. You can't let that fool lead you nowhere, man. You can't let that fool lead you nowhere. He crazy. He only want one thing. Even when you don't want it, he want it. That fool got a mind of his own, man. Another thing, don't be so quick to quantify a woman as a good girl because she treats you nice. Don't do that. Because one thing I will tell you, women are some of the most adaptable creatures in the world. A woman will see what she needs to do in order to make you do what she wants you to do, and she will do it instantly. With us, man, we got to think all through it. Man, that might be simping right there, man. I ain't even do that. I don't even know her like that, man. I ain't even do that right there. A woman sees what she wants and sees how to get it from you, man, and she just does what she has to do to get it. So if treating you nice is all that has to happen, man, there are women out here, man, who are living life, living a high quality life based on just being nice to men and being paid to be nice. Being paid to be nice. Being paid to be, may have to come through and clean up a little bit, man. May have to come through and Netflix and chill or something. Just being paid to be nice. May just have to show up to an event on a man's arm, being paid to be nice. And I ain't talking about paid no chump change. I'm talking about living a high quality life off of that. And what y'all got to understand is there's nothing wrong with that. If you can find a situation, man, where you can give as little of yourself as possible and get a full double up, triple up return on investment, why not do it? That's what investing is about. Now, you men can understand that in the stock market. You can understand that in business. Why can't you understand that in relationships? Why can't you understand that in relationships, you're supposed to give less than you get in return? You're supposed to give as little as you can to get as much as you can in a return. You're not supposed to give more than you get. Only men do stupid things like that. I'm just going to give more than I get because that's my job as a man. I'm going to give everything. Man, give everything, man. Give everything and get nothing in return but the woman's presence. Women understand the investment aspect of relationships. Men don't. Another thing. You're emotionally weak. So emotionally weak, in fact, that you can't even understand or accept that what you're getting is fake interaction from one. You know when the interaction is fake. You know what fake love is, man. You're a grown man. You know what fake interaction is, man. You know when something don't have the energy behind it. You know when something don't have the energy behind it. Dude tell my man he couldn't tell for 10 years, man, his old lady was faking it. Come on, man. 10 years, you can't tell she faking it? Are you that emotionally weak, that emotionally blinded by your desire to please that you can't even understand, man, she faking it for years? Come on, man. When a woman ain't faking it, man, it feels a certain way to you. But when the dude is just so caught up in pleasing the woman, all he's listening for are the verbal cues, are the pat on the head cues. He's not in tune with his environment. That's why men have to have time to themselves. You have to rebuild your alpha energy, because that's the energy that allows you to be in tune with your environment to the point where you can't get caught up in certain situations like that. You can't get put in a situation where you don't really know what's going on. You can't understand what's happening. And, you're lost and being, emotionally put into a space where, you feel like you're being dominated. And in reality, you are. In reality, you are. And that's just the reality of the scenario, man. So another thing I tell you is this, man. The Savage Pack is meant to reprimand the woman for her behavior. She's gonna have bad behavior. She's gonna get out of pocket. She's gonna say something slick. She's gonna do this, man. She might try to joke when you don't want to joke. She might do all of that. There's no reason for you to get upset with her. But all of these are reasons that you pile up. And when it's time to be intimate, man, you just go Savage Pack. Go Savage Pack. I promise you, here's the thing about Savage Pack. If you don't do it at home, eventually she's gonna get it done somewhere else. You understand? Whether she has to get a toy and do it herself, or she has to go find someone to do it, she's gonna get the Savage Pack, brother. I can promise you that. So if you, I'm gonna tell you like this, man, and y'all better listen to this. If you ain't giving your woman a Savage Pack, you might as well just accept the fact, man, that she tipping, man. You might as well just accept the fact. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be the type of situation, man, where I had some crazy situations, bro. We ain't gonna talk about it here, man. I'll talk about it over on Patreon, man. If you haven't joined Patreon, man, go ahead over there and join. My suggestion would be to join the $20 tier. If you join the $20 tier, man, then you get access to, quite a few things. You know what I'm saying? Quite a few things. Now, you don't have to go higher than that. You can go higher than that and get more, but I would suggest that that's a happy medium, man, for you to join, man, where you can get access. You can just get access to a bunch of things, man. And I got some, just some live streams, man, from a different time where, where you could really go in on a live stream. I got some of those queued up, man. I'm finna start dropping those over there on Patreon as well, man. So, man, y'all just tune in, man. Y'all tune in. So when you think about it, man, you got to remember this. This is the thing you need to remember. A woman would never respect a man who doesn't even understand when she's not keeping it real with him. Because to her, it's simple. So if you can't understand when a woman's not keeping it real with you, she doesn't respect your intellect. And anytime your intellect isn't respected, man, you like anything liable to happen. She liable to set you up to get robbed. Anything liable to happen, man. You don't know what happened when a woman don't respect your intellect. You know what I'm saying? When a woman look at you and she just believes that you're unintelligent, man, you got to worry about some things. You got to worry about some things. Because one thing that a woman wants to respect, she wants to be able to respect your mind. She wants to be able to respect your intelligence. You can't lead a woman if she doesn't respect your intelligence. You can't guide a woman if she doesn't respect your intelligence. You know what I'm saying? You can't dominate a woman if she doesn't respect your intelligence. You can't do any of these things. If she doesn't respect your intelligence, then you just lost. And I'm not talking about book sense. You got a lot of women talking about, well, yeah, she wants a man who got a book. I got some content coming up for y'all about that, man. Y'all gonna love it. But you got to understand, she has to respect your intelligence. So if I meet a woman, man, let's say I meet a woman, man, she got 3 degrees, man. She got a business and all that, man. Let's say she making $250,000 a year, $150,000 a year. She making $150,000 a year. We sit down and talk. She say, do you have a master's degree or a PhD? I said, I don't have either one of those. I say, so what do you have? I have a PhD and I have blah, 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 and I have blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I say, well, you should be making decent money. She'll tell you what she's making. Women are proud of that. Yeah, I make $175,000 a year. I'd be like, okay, that's good. So after taxes, you're probably talking about, maybe about 90,000, maybe about 100,000, right? 120,000, somewhere around there. Just depending on, how you file your taxes or what state you live in and all. They talking about anywhere from between 90 to 110, 115,000, right? I say, yeah, that's about right. I say, but student loans, that's pretty expensive though, right? You got to owe a pretty penny in student loans. Yeah, I owe the student loans and all that. Automatically in my mind, I'm like, Shawty, you're making all that money, but you're in the red. Like you're in the red. So I don't really care about how much money a woman makes. So when we sit down and have that conversation, I'm going to sit down and tell her, I'm going to say, well, I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't going to tell you exactly what I make, but I make more than that. And without a PhD, I don't even have all the student loan debt. So I put her in the proper perspective. I'm not trying to knock her or tear her down, but I'm trying to put her in a proper perspective of thinking. So all those things that she's, beating her chest about, she needs to know she can't beat her chest with me about those things. Now I respect it. I respect the grind that it take to get all those degrees. I do. But don't act like those degrees put you in a better financial situation than me. Don't act like those degrees make you more successful than me, because they really don't. You understand? I got a partner right now, man, make $15,000 a week from doing corporate, commercial landscaping. Make 15 bands a week. You understand what I'm saying? That's 60 bands a month doing corporate, and we ain't talking about the things he do on the weekend, man, with his son doing residential. I'm just talking about doing corporate. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about it, man, there's so many ways for a man to make money. The only way a woman can really, really make money, man, is to go get some degrees. You know what I'm saying? She got to have multiple degrees. Now you have women who have who have a cosmetology license or whatever, and those who are the best hustlers, man, end up having shops where they have other people working in their farm and do all of that. But man, I know guys, man, they got 10 barbershops in the city. You know what I'm saying? Just a chain of barbershops that be packed. I'm talking about packed, getting paid, 10 chairs, 10 booths, hair salon in the back with 5 more booths. You understand? Getting all that booth fee, all that traffic coming through from 10 shops. There's so many ways to make paper. And guess what? He ain't got no cosmetology license, but you know what he had? He had some seed money. For us as a man, if you got seed money, man, you can do a lot of things. Now, I know I got sidetracked. That's my bad. I wasn't intend to get sidetracked on that. But I just say this to you. You got to understand that a woman has to respect your intelligence. She has to respect your and I'm not knocking guys who have degrees, because I know somebody going to be some beta male, some man, China. Well, he's talking about like dudes who got degrees, something wrong with them. No, I'm just saying it's not necessary. If the end goal is to create revenue and put yourself in a successful financial situation, then who cares the route you go? As long as it's legit, who cares the route you go? I don't. So another thing I tell y'all is this, man. When you believe, even though you know from experience that women want the man who shows them the least interest, we know that. It's been proven. It's been proven in the field. It's been proven in studies that women want the man who doesn't show them interest. Now, I'm not saying if you some dirt dauber dude, you can't just go around saying, I'm not interested in you. I'm not interested in you. Nah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a man, an interesting man. Let's put it like that. She wants that man. You know why? Because the worst thing for a woman is to feel undesired by a man that she desires. The worst feeling in the world is for her to feel undesirable to a man that she desires. Because the way she desires you, she wants you to desire her the same. Now, knowing this, help me understand why you think smothering a woman with affection is the thing to do. Why do you think smothering a woman with affection is the thing to do? Help me understand. Because that's what you're doing. You're smothering a woman with affection. Man, women don't want to be smothered with affection. They don't want to be smothered with affection. They want to be here's the caveat. They want to be smothered with affection by the man who is never going to smother them with affection. They don't want to be smothered with affection by the man who is willing to smother them with affection. Because being willing to smother a woman with affection is a beta male simp mangina mindset. You got to be a sucker to do that, man. You have to. No real man wants to smother a woman with affection. We don't even like affection like that, man, to be involved in affection all the time like that. We don't like that. That's real, man. Y'all know I'm telling the truth, man. We don't want to be smothered in affection. We don't want to smother nobody in affection. Not like that. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth, man. Now, another thing I tell you is this, man. When, let's say you have a woman and you're in a situation. This is how men get caught up in those boring lives and end up, the woman ends up being bored as well. You believe that being home all the time will make your woman more excited to be with you. Make her more excitable when it comes to the prospect of being with you. But let's be honest. It doesn't make sense because there's nothing else in our lives that we want to do every day. You don't go to the gym every day. If you go to the gym every day with no breaks, then you're not getting optimal results. I mean, you could do cardio every day, but I mean, if you're working out, hitting the iron every day, unless you're juicing, you're not getting optimal results. You're not getting optimal results. How many weeks are you going to work at your job without a day off? How many weeks you going to work at your job without a day off? If you eat sweets every day, guess what? Your body is in trouble. If you drink liquor every day, guess what? Your kidneys, liver, heart, everything else, skin, everything else is in trouble. You see what I'm saying? You got to keep in mind, if you don't drink enough water every day, guess what's going to happen? All type of skin ailments. And let me tell you something, boy, if your skin bad, the rest of your inside's bad too. So I'll try to get y'all to understand, man, that you have to accept the reality. The things you know for sure, you have to accept those things. You're not going to do it. Anytime you got to be around somebody every day, eventually there's going to be a level of disdain that develops because sometimes you don't want to be around that person. Nobody wants to be around the same person every day, year after year after year. That's why older people end up, man, not even sleeping in the same bed. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. There are exceptions to the rule. I'm not saying this is ironclad. You know what I'm saying? Every rule has an exception. You know what I'm saying? There are no absolutes, even when you're speaking the truth. There's always an exception. But I will say this. If you're in a situation where you're not satisfied with your current living situation and you're cohabitating with someone, then you got to understand that it's not the person, it's the fact that you're cohabitating. It's you. It's not the person, it's you. You don't want to be around somebody every day like that. That's why I tell you, me and my bro, man, gonna always have separate residences. Always have separate residences. Man, there ain't gonna never come a time where we ain't got separate residences. Listen, man, she might live right across the street, but we gonna have separate residences. We got to. You know what I'm saying? I give you an example. That's what Hugh Hefner did, man. Hugh Hefner, man, his wife, his ex-wife and his sons lived next door to him. He had a mansion. They had a mansion next door to him. They literally lived next door to him. So his sons grew up with him right there, but they weren't in the house with him. Because you know what? I mean, he ran the Playboy empire. You know what I'm saying? It was the Playboy mansion. He's going to have them there. Put them next door. That's how you do. You need your man space. You need your man space. You need a masculine space in order to recover your masculine energy, in order to recover your alpha energy. If you don't have that, then, man, you're going to get soft. You're going to get soft. Unless you're in a situation where, I mean, there's certain situations in life, we ain't gonna talk about those, but there's certain circumstances that most of us aren't in where you can, just be in an entirely dominant situation like that. But most of us aren't. Most of us go into situations ready to compromise who we are and what we stand for. And in a situation with a man and woman, then the compromising should be done by the woman. That's just the reality of it. The compromising should be done by the woman. That's my mindset. You understand? I'm already compromising. You know what? Because I have an amazing single life. If I invite you into my life and give up my single life, that is the greatest compromise I could ever make as a man. Women don't understand the compromise that men make to not be single anymore. We're not living that life. Well, it's time for me to settle down. I'm so tired. Lord, I'm tired. We don't do that. We enjoy our lives, man. We continue to enjoy our lives. Because if you put yourself in a position to win, man, you put yourself in a position where you're a winning team, you can go anywhere in the world, man, and everybody loves winners. Everybody loves a winner. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a hell of a sacrifice for us to make, man. And women don't respect that. Women don't appreciate that sacrifice. It's a hell of a sacrifice for me to say, okay, I'm not going to be single anymore. You and I are going to be in a relationship. Man, that's rough. That's rough, man. And something else, man. When you paying the cost to be the boss, that's different from being a beta male provider. Because here's the thing about paying the cost to be the boss. You're already paying the cost to be the boss in your life already. Now, if you upgrade everything to accommodate a woman, then yeah, that's something different. But if you're already living your life and the woman just comes into it, you were already paying the cost to be the boss. That you pay the cost to be the boss for yourself, not for the woman. You don't suddenly start paying the cost to be the boss for the life that the woman wants, but you're already doing that in your own life, and so you don't have a problem. It's no huge adjustment that you're making. But I'll tell you like this as well. Coming home, giving your money to your woman. I know guys who do that. Come home and give their money to their woman. I'm talking about give her the money. give her the money. Give her the money. I'm talking about guy make all the money. The woman don't even work and give her the money. Man, that's like you acting like you her son. Here, mama, I got my money. Here, you get it. You get it, mom. You get it. That's how you acting, man. It's a position of servitude and a position of submission when you look at your woman as your provider. So even if you're a man that's living off a woman, man, if you're a man that's living off a woman, you're a simp. You understand? Let's say this: you're in a simp situation. You're in a beta male simp angina situation. If you're living off a woman, man, that is the position of powerlessness. You have no power. You have no power. So don't be around here talking about how cold you are and don't be talking about you a P or nothing like that. You're not. If you're living off of a woman, if everything that you got, everything that you get, everything that you do is sponsored and funded by a woman, you got a whole lot of growing to do into the most alpha version of yourself, homie. A whole lot of growing. And I suggest you get started. You have to. That's that mama's boy behavior. I'm going to let my mama take care of me. Okay, you're transitioning to a position. Well, let me tell you something. You do that if you want to. There's going to be a man somewhere that got his thing together, man. And I promise you, he going to be giving your woman the savage pack whenever he get ready to. Whenever he get ready to. Straight up giving your woman the savage pack, man. I ain't lying to you. I'm telling you what I know, man. Number 9, appreciate the 2 bones, man. See what we got this, man. Charles Lee, appreciate the 2 bones. Appreciate the game, doc. You're saving lives out here. Salute, man. I appreciate it. So, and one more thing I'll tell y'all, man. Dominating a woman intimately is about more than just the act of sex. It's about the build-up and the letdown. It's about putting her in such an elevated state of arousal that all she wants is for you to touch her. That's all she wants. It don't matter how you touch her. She just wants you to touch her. She'll invite the savage pack. You understand? Because her nerves are so raw that she needs the savage pack. You can't do that if you're always chasing, if you're always trying to convince, if you're always trying to coerce, if the woman don't have enough time to desire you, because for one or two reasons, she never desired you in the first place, or you're too busy trying to go back to back. Control your wood, because that fool is always up to no good. So, man, we're going to get ready to slide on out of here, man. I appreciate everybody being in the joint. Again, we're on the Shure MV7X. Tomorrow, I'll go ahead and hook up the Shure. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and hook both mics up. I'll just have both of them hooked up. But tomorrow, we'll do the Shure SM7B. And see how that sounds. And then Friday, we'll do the Electro Voice RE20. I truly believe the Electro Voice RE20 is going to be the one, just from what I've seen, and it looks better. It's going to be the best looking mic, man, you've ever seen, man. It's phenomenal looking mic. Rode also has a mic, one of those old school mics that it's chrome and it's got blue undertones, man. It's phenomenal. Shure has one. And so we're looking at that one as well, man. Listen, brothers, I appreciate y'all's support, man. It's a phenomenal thing, man. We're doing, trying to give men the word that they need over here. And I know you men do your job of spreading the word to younger men around you as well, and even older men who need this type of information. And it's a phenomenal thing, man. So let's just keep it going. Let's keep it moving, man. Let's go ahead, man, and let's push this thing on up to a million. Also, man, if you haven't subscribed to the King Ray Ray channel, you are missing out. We've been going ham over there on the King Ray Ray channel, man. Subscribe to the King Ray Ray channel. If you go in the YouTube search box and put King Ray Ray, the King Ray Ray Show channel will pop up first. So we trying to build it up over there, man. It's a phenomenal channel, man. We really go in depth about the things that make you a man. And it's a channel that women can get into as well. It makes you a better person. How to become a better person. How to get over the obstacles that you face. And it's not just, you don't just wake up and say, I'm going to become the most alpha version of myself. No, you got to get rid of your demons first, man. You got to fight your demons. You got to defeat your demons first. So, man, I see y'all, man, on the next one, man. We'll be back on this joint tomorrow, man. We'll be back on this joint tomorrow where we will talk about DJ Envy and Gia Casey. And we'll break down a couple of other situations that tell us how a man puts himself in a situation where he thinks his number one goal in life is to please his woman. ST, appreciate the $5 super sticker, man. We got here, man. L Marshall, appreciate the $5 super sticker. Let's get ready to slide on out of here, man. I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Look at here. I don't know what y'all finna do. I don't know where y'all finna go. But when you get there, tell them in the alpha sphere, alpha's up, beta's down is indeed the motto. Peace. Seems like no matter what you do sometimes, your efforts go underappreciated or unappreciated, period. You know, all we do, man, is try to give men the information they need to become the best version of themselves. No hate. We love women. We don't hate them. We just don't take no foolishness. And we can't be controlled by our lust. Those men can, but not us.
Alpha's up, beta's down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alpha's up, beta's down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alpha's up, beta's down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alpha's up, beta's down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Now, I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her and convince yourself that she brings more value to your life than you bring to hers. You know, just the protection and provision is more than a woman can ever make up for, man. So I'm not saying don't give her props for what she does, but damn sure never make her feel like she's more important to you than you are to her, because it's just a figment of your imagination. She knows the truth, so you have to understand the truth as well. This is called the abundance mindset. There's nothing she can give you that you can't give yourself, besides a baby. And do you really want one of those right now? Nope.
Alpha's up, beta's down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alpha's up, beta's down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alpha's up, beta's down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alpha's up, beta's down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
You see, the main thing that men let women slide with is shut-uppiness and obedience. Now, when you use the term obedience with a woman, she automatically relates that to being a slave. But slaves aren't obedient. Obedience is a choice. Slaves either do it or die. Shut-uppiness is another thing that women have a problem with. It doesn't mean you can't talk. It means that you can't talk when I'm talking. It means that when we're talking about things that I do as the man, you don't have an opinion on those things, because I make decisions based on facts, not opinions, not even my own opinions, and most certainly not yours.
Alpha's up, beta's down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alpha's up, beta's down, it's the motto.